We need to piece the cork to make one long strap. So to do that, you're going to place the cork fabric right sides together, perpendicular to each other. So you'll have a little bit of overlap, about 1/4 of an inch on both sides. And you're going to take this over to the sewing machine and sew a diagonal line from this upper left corner down to the lower right corner. Then you're going to take your scissors and you're going to cut about 1/4 of an inch away from the seam that you just made. And then also trim up the sides so they're even with the edges of the strap. Then you're going to finger press this seam open and you're going to top stitch 1/8 inch on both sides of the seam. And I'm going to top stitch from the right side. So then you can trim up the thread, and by doing the top stitching, it helps add a little bit of strength to the seam and keeps the cork fabric laying flat. Now we have one long cork fabric strap. Next, we're going to fold the strap in half with wrong sides together and line up the raw edges. And you're going to top stitch with an 1/8 inch along the raw edge and also an 1/8 inch along the folded edge. So do the raw edges first so it keeps the strap folded along the entire length of the strap, and then go back and top stitch along the fold. And you can use wonder clips or some double-sided basting tape to hold this together. I'm just going to fold it and hold it as I sew. The next step after top stitching is to attach the slider buckle. So our hardware that we have left are 2 swivel hooks and 1 slider buckle. So the right side of the slider buckle should be face up. The wrong side, you can see the center bar was folded to the back, so that's considered the wrong side. So the smooth side is the right side. So have the smooth side face up and take one end of your strap and you're going to thread it through the buckle, going underneath, over the center bar, and back down. So this is what it'll look like on the front and the back. Then you're going to fold this raw end. So from the fold to the raw end measures about 1 1/4 inches. And then you're going to take this over to your sewing machine and top stitch the raw end in place with 1/8 of an inch and also 1/4 of an inch. So I usually do 2 lines of top stitching. Some people like to do a box with an X in the middle for reinforcement. It's up to you, just as long as you top stitch the end of the strap to itself. Now you're going to take the strap, so the wrong side is face up and the wrong side is the side that you folded the strap to, so it shows the raw edge. So take your thumb and have it on the wrong side and make sure the strap doesn't get twisted, and go all the way to the end of the strap that doesn't have any hardware on it. Then you're going to take a swivel hook and you're going to have the hook side down and you're going to thread it through the swivel, and you're going to slide the swivel so it's closer to the slider buckle. So just make sure that everything isn't twisted, so you should have the raw edge showing here and the swivel hook part towards the right side, like this. Okay. Then just make sure that the strap isn't twisted again. And you're going to guide the raw end through the slider buckle. And again, you're going to go from the underside back over that center bar and down the opposite side. Okay, so here's what it looks like so far. So that enclosed our raw edge. and make sure that nothing is twisted. Looks good. And then on this raw end, we can move the slider buckle out of the way a little bit more. And now we're going to add the other swivel. So now we have the buckle side up. This is the underside. And this time you're going to have the hook part towards the top, towards the right side. And then you're going to fold the raw end so it measures about 1.25 inches from the fold to the raw end. And again, you'll top stitch the end of the strap in place. So once you have that done, you can clip each of the swivel hooks to each of the D-rings on the sides of your bag, and your new purse is ready to use.